Hey guys, welcome back to WeRC. Today we're excited because the rock lights for our Traxxas TRX4 finally came in. They've been on national back order. We're going to get them installed on the 2021 Bronco edition of the TRX4. We're also going to show you how to wire them and incorporate them with the Pro Scale lighting kit for the Bronco, which we've already installed. We're going to show you 4 different ways that you can connect the power on these rock lights so that you can actually control them through the wireless link by means of the app on your smartphone or tablet, and be able to control those rock lights independently, or you can leave them with power all the time via the auxiliary out. So we're going to show you how to do all of that, so let's get to it. Alright guys, so here we have it, the Traxxas Rock Light Kit 8026X. It's for the Traxxas TRX4 as well as the TRX6. Although if you have the TRX6, you do have to buy the expansion pack. It has 2 more rock lights in it to wire into the series. But let's take a look here at the actual chassis on the TRX4. The nice part is it already comes with plates in there where the rock lights go. There's actually 8 of them, 4 on the front, 4 on the back. So our first step is to take these plates off. This is a 2mm screw. I'm going to take those out. We need to set the screws aside because we do need to reuse those. The plates we'll be able to discard or store somewhere in case you decide to take the rock lights off in the future. So we have all of the plates off of the fenders on the chassis. We've got all 8 of those taken off. Again, make sure that you save the screws. We're going to need those to re-secure the rock lights. Now, depending on how you plan on wiring your rock lights will determine where you need to start. And so what I mean by that is either you're going to start with your receiver, if you're going to power the rock lights with the receiver, if you don't have a Pro Scale lighting module or a lighting control module at all. In this case, we are going to use the lighting power module to power these rock lights, and I'm going to show you several options of how to connect those. So in this instance, I'm going to start here with the back and work my way around laying these out. So we'll go ahead and get these laid out. We'll come back and I'll show you how we've routed the wires. All right guys, so we've got our wires run and routed. We zip tied it to a few of the cross members. Try to get it tucked out of the way, run it through the retainers that are on the frame rail. Just keep it as low profile as we can and keep it out of the way of any moving parts. We may go back through and put a few more zip ties on, but all in all, that's the general route that we want to take. So, I said we were going to show you 4 different ways to connect this lighting. I didn't have the right adapter, so I had to make one just to show this first option. And this first option is if you don't have a lighting power module of any kind, and you're planning on connecting it directly to your receiver. Of course, you'd have to run it through the cover here to keep it watertight. But you can plug this into any channel, any open channel on your receiver. And of course, it's black to black and red to blue is the colors coming off of your receiver. But with this option, when you power it on, the rock lights will immediately come on. They'll always stay on anytime that the vehicle is powered. But you can in fact power it just like any accessory fan that you might have to cool your motor or to cool your ESC. So that's the first option, is plugging it directly into the receiver. I'm going to get rid of this little adapter that I made. The next option is actually on the lighting power module. I've taken the screws out of this just so we can get to it and show you a little better. But on the back of it we have auxiliary power and we have 1 through 12. I'm going to pull both of these plugs for now. So the second option is plugging this again directly into the auxiliary power on the lighting control module. Let's see if we get up a little closer so you can see. Auxiliary power right there. All right. We're going to plug this right in. Now there's 3 jacks to connect to. And what you're going to see is those lights are going to instantly come on. So anytime that's connected to a battery, those lights are going to instantly come on the power output. Now, something else you may have noticed is the brightness of these lights. It's going to be the brightest plugged directly into your receiver. The next brightest level is connected to the auxiliary power, which again, the auxiliary power is going to be on anytime the battery's connected. So if we disconnect the battery, the lights will shut off. But immediately when we connect the battery, regardless of if we have the ESC on, those lights will come on. So that's the second option. That's in the auxiliary power. Now the next 2 options actually will allow you to control the rock lights independently using your Traxxas Link app. And so what that's going to be using is channels 3 and channels 4 on your lighting power module. So I plugged into channel 3. So we go into the dashboard. Once we're in the dashboard, we got to make sure it's powered on. Excuse me. Go to the lights. And now what you're going to see is we have auxiliary light low and auxiliary light high. Channel 3 is for auxiliary light low. So if we toggle that on, you can see that the rock lights have in fact come on. Auxiliary channel 4, or channel 4 I should say, is for auxiliary light high. So we plug it into there, we hit that switch, again, the lights come on and off with the control. Now, going through these outputs though, this is your lowest lighting level. So we'll turn off the lights in the shop here, and we'll come back and show you what it looks like with all 4 of those different levels. All right guys, so let's show you the different lighting levels. So again, we've got this plugged into one of our numbered outputs on our lighting power module. The one we have it connected to right now is our auxiliary light high. So we'll go ahead and turn this on, show you kind of the lighting level that it emits going through the power control module on one of those switches. All right, so that's one option. Again, going back to the auxiliary power port, you can instantly see quite a bit more light emitted, but that's the one that's going to be on anytime the battery's connected. Of course, you could also run a switch to power those, so you don't have to unplug it anytime you don't want it on. So there's one more thing I forgot to tell you. Depending on which option you decide to go with, you of course you'll want to put your rubber plug back in, but I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but there's little marks on these plugs. And so what you can do is take a knife, and a sharp knife, and cut it at those marks just to omit the rubber plug for whatever channel you're plugging into. So if you choose to plug into channel 3 or channel 4, you find out which one of those marks corresponds with that. Cut those 2 marks out, so you're cutting a little sliver of the rubber out, and then put the rest of the plug back in to keep it as watertight as possible. Same thing if you use your auxiliary power. There's actually 3 ports in there for the auxiliary power. Whichever one you're going to use, slice that part of the plug off, plug it in, and then put the rest of the plug back in. So there we have it. We have resecured the lighting power module. You see we chose to go into the auxiliary power, and I have shaved the gasket so that it could still be plugged back in. So the gasket's in, it's as watertight as possible. We got the wires zip tied down the rest of the way we like it. Try and keep it out of the way of all the moving parts. So let's get it put back together, get the body put on it, and get some shots in the dark. Alright guys, well there you have it. That's the install of the rock lights for the TRX4, or TRX6 could be the same, but we've got it fully installed. We showed you the functionality with the Traxxas Link app. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up, give us a like. If you like the content from our channel, please consider subscribing. And that's how we are seen.